I want your response on the allegation that Rahul Gandhi has leveled, where he's called it rig the panel for appointment of umpires. Now, he's primarily claiming that the selection committee under the new law is heavily tilted towards the centre, and he's asked why a cabinet minister was placed instead of the CJI inside the selection committee. Why would someone go out of their way to remove a neutral arbiter in an important institution? What's your response to that?
Compared to the UPA era where it was completely unilateral, here the leader of opposition is on board. So he should appreciate that. Point is that it will always be tilted in favor of the government because it's the government's prerogative. Like I mentioned, the Congress's own history is besmirched. It's so evil that they have absolutely no grounds to confront us on this. And you should read the clarification provided by the election commission on the specific complaints of Rahul Gandhi.
Yes.
It is very clearly mentioned during assembly elections in Maharashtra, 6,40,87,588 electors who reached the polling station from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. voted. About 58 lakhs were polled per hour on an average. Going by these average trends, nearly 116 lakh voters could have voted in the last 2 hours. Therefore, casting of 65 lakh votes by electors in 2 hours is much below the average hourly voting trends. Now, what is there to not understand? This is a Congress party which refuses to understand simple communication by the DGMO, by our external affairs minister, and now they are similarly applying that misinterpretation to the election commission. Fact is, the three state governments of Congress today are known only for their fiscal profligacy and administrative anarchy. They know that they are losing Bihar, and therefore, Rahul Gandhi has, like I mentioned at the start, surrendered before the Bihar elections. There is no other way to look at his repeated grouse when repeated clarifications have been provided by the election commission on the issue.
Okay, just to play devil's advocate here, Tuhin, I just want to say that there have also been instances when the Congress has written to the Election Commission again and again, but immediate attention is given to when the BJP files a complaint. But Dr. Anshul, I want to come back to you here with the point that the EC has also responded to what you've said, where they've said that the entire voting process has occurred in front of polling agents that have been appointed by the political parties, and they've not raised substantiated concerns about abnormal voting. The EC has also said that it appears that all this has been ignored by the Congress party, that they continue to raise this issue again and again. Do you think that the Congress has also put out this properly in the public domain? Because to blame the EC over and over, and let's understand, we live in the times of social media. So if there is concrete evidence to provide and put down an institution, then why don't you put it out?
No, what else is concrete evidence? I mean, this is circumstantial evidence, if you like. You can call it whatever you want. I mean, these figures are highly suspicious. How do you account for them? First of all, the appointment of the panel, as you pointed out, the neutrality of the panel itself, it begins all from there. It flows right from there. Then you have a point about the voters list. Then you have bogus voting, the charges of bogus voting. There are a number of charges, and then also the questions that are asked repeatedly by the election commission. Why don't they simply bring it out? Why don't they convince the opposition party, the Congress party, the leader of the opposition? The Congress party has 9,900 seats in the parliament. Convince them that this is a fair and square process, that yes, democracy is not being compromised. Do they think the onus is on them, right? We've already brought out substantial matter in the entire article, but this is not it. This is not, this article wasn't standalone. These charges about the election process being compromised were brought out much earlier. It was immediately after the Maharashtra elections. In fact, we've been saying all kinds of things all along about it. There have been deep suspicions about the way the elections are conducted. And I'm not talking about other things about how any party wins the election, on what basis it wins the election, on playing with emotions or bringing religion into politics and other things. We're talking about brute statistical electoral policy and elections. And here there is a cause for enormous doubt. We brought it out point by point in this article, not for the first time. And now the election commission and this government has to really answer for that. Now, it's not for repeating anything. It has nothing to do, by the way, Sirsha, there's nothing to do with the Bihar election, which we are set to win. We are just alerting the election commission again about the apprehensions that we have, the misgivings that we have. So they're not repeated. It has nothing to do, if we don't repeat them, then democracy will never work. This is our bounden duty to do that.
Right. Dr. Anshul, I only have 3 minutes on the show, so I want to give both of you a chance to make your closing comments. But I just want to ask you one thing. This is not the way the Congress speaks when they win an election. You know, these kind of statements only come when they're losing an election or just before the election is about to start. Would you agree? What do you have to say to this?
No,
After which,
absolutely.
Tuhin, you make your closing comment.
Well,
Yes,
Suyesha,
Dr.
the
Anshul,
Congress.
Dr. Anshul, let him finish, after which I come to you. Yes.
Sorry, whom did you...
I asked you that question. I asked
Oh,
you,
you asked
Dr.
me, or
Anshul.
was it
Yes,
to him?
yes,
Okay,
I asked
all
you.
right. All right. What was... no, absolutely not. I mean, where there is evidence that there has been, when the numbers are suspicious, the voters list is suspicious, there's evidence of bogus voting, where the numbers suddenly flare up after a particular time, there is justification for being suspicious and therefore asking questions. These are pointed questions. Who do we ask then the questions to? We can't internalize them. They have to be put in the public domain. We've been doing that all along. There have been serious misgivings about the conduct of elections, and these are the time. Maharashtra election was one such time. The evidence is there before you. We are asking for answers. That is all.